why you won't have seen me on camera before. I tend to avoid it at all costs, but I've put my lipstick on even though it's a Saturday, because I'm here to talk to you about this gorgeous book, which is called The Clockwork Angel by Cassandra. It's the 10th anniversary edition, and we're doing a bit of a read along with lots of lovely bookstagrammers, so it'd be great if you could join us. As you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful book, lots of gold foil, cloth bound, gorgeous end papers, beautiful illustrations, and I'm here to talk to you about the first 100 pages that I've read, which tells the story of Tessa Gray, who arrives in London from America on the invitation of her brother. She arrives into this deep, dark, gothic world, and instead of a brother greeting her at the port, it's actually two sisters called the Dark Sisters, Mrs. Dark and Mrs. Black. And you kind of think she'd realise that they were a bit suspect, but they eventually hold her prisoner, and they do so for a reason, because they want something from her. And this brings me to the first prompt we are given, which is, what do you think the Dark Sisters want? And they basically want Tessa's power, and it's a power that she doesn't know she has, but which the Dark Sisters are training her to use, and we find out later that power is the ability to change into another human being, their body, and experience their feelings. And obviously it's a very powerful power. We're not told now why the Dark Sisters want this power, but we assume it's for not very good reasons. And then that brings me to the second part of the prompt, which is, what are some of your favourite powers or magic in young adult fiction? And I'm going to start with something that isn't particularly fantastical or magical or inhuman. In fact, it's very human, and I think it's something that young adult fiction does really well, which is to a central character that has these fears and vulnerabilities, and they manage to overcome them. Sometimes it's with the help of magic, but other times it's just from within themselves. And I think this is a really powerful message that a lot of young adult fiction gives, and it's one which Tessa gives, and she arrives in this horrible, deep, gothic world with lots of warlocks and vampires, and she uses her power to free herself within the first 100 pages. So it's definitely one of my favourite parts of young adult fiction. And I'm just going to end on a personal note, which is to do with that fear and vulnerability, because it's a little rule I live by, which is to kind of do something every day that you're fearful of. And by doing so, you push yourself out of your comfort zone, and you help yourself overcome those fears and vulnerabilities. And when I do this, even though I prefer staying in my comfort zone like everybody else, something good happens. I experience new things, learn new things, meet new people, and one of those things I'm really fearful of is actually coming on camera and talking to you guys, but I've done it today as my something I'm fearful of, and I've enjoyed it. And it's a tick on the list, and I hope to do more of. I'd love to know what you're fearful of, and if you go out and do the same thing, and even if it's like a little thing, you don't like eating something, maybe eat it. You go to a particular place you've never been before, or you talk to somebody you've never talked to before. It'd be really interesting to know how you feel, and if it makes you feel better, because it definitely makes me feel better. So yep, that's my update for The Clockwork Angel, and I hope to do loads more, but I'm a busy mama too, but I'll give it a go. So I hope to see you soon.